The act of procrastination, saying, "I'll do it later," is conceptualized as an internal negotiation. This process involves an impulse for delay interacting with the intention for action. It represents a dynamic interplay between immediate gratification and future goals. The internal negotiation manifests as a struggle for control over one's immediate behavior. This struggle determines whether an action is performed now or postponed. Internal negotiation is conceptualized as a transaction. This transaction involves an abstract entity identified as weakness. This weakness consistently demands further concessions. Each successful delay reinforces the power of this internal weakness. Many individuals face internal negotiations regarding their goals. These internal struggles are often the primary barrier to achieving objectives. External factors, such as knowledge or opportunity, are less significant. A lack of awareness about these internal obstacles is common. This unawareness is characterized by a clouded perception, hindering progress. Negotiation is a fundamental process, extending beyond formal settings into our daily lives. It applies to routine decisions, such as determining the optimal wake-up time each morning. Another instance is deciding when to engage in physical exercise. The process also governs the timing of initiating a new task or project. These seemingly simple choices are, in essence, moments of internal debate and compromise. Each decision involves weighing various factors to arrive at a preferred course of action. Delaying an action often involves an internal negotiation process. Each instance of this delay reinforces a pattern of hesitation. This reinforcement mechanism strengthens the habit of procrastination. Repeated delays solidify these neural pathways, making the habit more ingrained. Discipline fundamentally relies on certainty regarding actions and commitments. When an action is predetermined, it eliminates the need for internal deliberation. This predetermination simplifies the decision-making process. The absence of internal conflict fosters a state of unwavering resolve. Such certainty is a cornerstone for consistent and disciplined behavior. The act of negotiating with oneself introduces a significant element of doubt into the decision-making process. This internal negotiation undermines the certainty essential for maintaining consistent, disciplined behavior. Such doubt creates an internal conflict, hindering the ability to execute decisions effectively. The lack of certainty can lead to hesitation and inconsistency in actions. Ultimately, self-negotiation can impede progress by weakening resolve and focus. When an action is perceived as optional, its execution becomes inherently inconsistent. This inconsistency stems from an ongoing internal debate regarding whether to perform the action. The absence of a clear mandate allows for deliberation, leading to varied outcomes. This internal negotiation can result in the action being performed or omitted at different times. Consequently, treating an action as optional directly contributes to its unpredictable and inconsistent execution. Inconsistency in actions directly impacts an individual's psychological state. When personal commitments are frequently broken or altered, a pattern of unreliability emerges. This repeated failure to follow through diminishes one's belief in their own reliability. The individual's self-trust, a core component of self-esteem, begins to erode. This erosion can lead to decreased confidence and a reduced sense of personal efficacy. The erosion of self-trust is a psychological phenomenon impacting an individual's internal reliability. It manifests as a significant loss of faith in one's own commitments and promises. This internal breach occurs even when promises are made solely to oneself. Such a breakdown in self-integrity leads to profound and lasting psychological implications. Self-negotiation significantly influences an individual's self-perception and identity. It extends beyond mere productivity, deeply impacting how one views themselves. Consistent failure to follow through on commitments shapes self-perception. These repeated actions contribute to the formation of one's identity over time. Repeatedly failing to keep promises made to oneself impacts self-perception. This consistent pattern leads to an internal assessment of unreliability. This self-assessment is distinct from external perceptions by others. The focus remains solely on internal validation and personal integrity. Self-perceived failures accumulate over time, impacting an individual's self-assessment. This accumulation directly contributes to a significant decline in self-confidence. An internal belief in one's unreliability develops as a result of these perceived setbacks. This foundational impediment hinders future actions and personal growth. A fundamental shift in approach occurs when certain options are removed. Specifically, this shift happens when the ability to negotiate is eliminated. It also occurs when the option to delay action is completely removed. This elimination of choice creates a decisive mental boundary. Such a boundary forces immediate and direct engagement with the situation. The absence of alternatives drives a transformative change in strategy and action. Traditional decision-making often involves questioning motivation with, "Do I feel like it?" This approach can lead to internal debate and procrastination. A new paradigm shifts from inquiry to declaration. The core of this paradigm is the statement, "This is what I do." This declarative statement bypasses internal debate entirely. It establishes a firm commitment, fostering immediate action and consistency. The removal of internal debate is a critical step in optimizing decision-making processes. This elimination of cognitive conflict directly leads to the cessation of procrastination and delay. Consequently, actions become immediate and automatic, enhancing operational efficiency. This transformation results in a streamlined and highly effective decision-making framework. To initiate significant behavioral change, it is advisable to begin with small, manageable actions. This approach ensures that the initial steps are not overwhelming, promoting sustained effort. The first step involves identifying a specific area where self-negotiation frequently occurs. This targeted focus allows for a clear understanding of the habit to be addressed. By isolating one area, individuals can concentrate their efforts for effective change. The process involves converting a flexible goal into an immutable rule. This applies to various actions, such as waking up, training, or completing tasks. Initially, these actions may be perceived as optional or flexible goals. The transformation redefines the action, removing its optional status. This redefinition establishes the action as a non-negotiable, fixed requirement. The commitment visualization principle involves establishing a new rule or behavior. This rule must be adhered to strictly, without any exceptions. Adherence is required for a predetermined, fixed duration. An example of such a period is a minimum of 7 consecutive days. This period of strict compliance is critical for the process. It serves to solidify the new behavior, making it a consistent practice. The cessation of self-negotiation initiates a cascade of internal changes. These changes are inherently positive, fostering mental well-being. The benefits of these changes compound over time, creating a cumulative effect. This process generates beneficial ripples that spread throughout the mental landscape. The mind often experiences a state of internal arguments and mental chatter. This constant internal dialogue can hinder clear thinking and concentration. A reduction in this mental chatter leads to a newfound quietness within the mind. This quietness signifies a decrease in distracting thoughts and internal conflicts. The diminishing of internal arguments directly results in greater cognitive clarity. Enhanced clarity subsequently improves focus and the ability to concentrate effectively. Decision-making processes are significantly streamlined and accelerated. Time previously allocated to internal deliberation is now minimized. This reduction in debate directly translates into faster operational execution. Efficiency gains are observed across various stages of the decision cycle. The rechanneling of cognitive resources enhances productivity. This optimized approach leads to more agile and responsive actions. Discipline is a state that becomes easier to maintain over time. This ease stems from the elimination of internal conflict. The struggle against one's own intentions is a significant barrier to discipline. Removing this internal conflict simplifies the adherence to chosen actions. When internal resistance is absent, consistent action feels more natural. This natural flow reinforces the disciplined behavior, making it self-sustaining. Human actions are fundamentally shaped by internal processes. Conscious control over decisions is crucial for intentional behavior. Without conscious decision-making, individuals lose agency. In such cases, actions become dictated by immediate feelings. This highlights the passive nature of being driven solely by emotion. Therefore, conscious control is essential to avoid emotional impulsivity. Human emotions are inherently inconsistent and subject to constant change. Feelings fluctuate significantly based on comfort levels and prevailing moods. Environmental shifts can also profoundly influence and alter emotional states. In contrast, established standards provide a stable and unchanging framework. These standards ensure consistent behavior, irrespective of an individual's emotional state. They offer a reliable guide for actions, independent of internal emotional fluctuations.